You've got mail.
I'm gonna cut to Jerry where Jerry's at now.
Software that has some.
You've been chasing Cherry for a while now through the tunnels of the dungeon. The last time you saw her, you were in the dungeon room. There's a tunnel that goes between the main room of the dungeon itself and the church. Make us roll some perception checks.
I did not name the
Let me
game.
see.
How did she was consummated in a cherry tree?
10.
So as you're walking through, you start to see a blood trail on the floor in front of you.
Pretty fresh, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and one of them definitely has a footprint. There's a smear on the wall. Somebody was walking and bleeding at the same time. But the footprint is much bigger than what you would believe to be Sherry's. It is an adult footprint, but it's not that wide. It's not a very big adult.
Interesting. I'll stay alert and follow that direction then.
You hear some screaming and some terrifying noise coming from up ahead
I'll pick up the pace.
down the way, so you start running in that direction. You enter a small chamber. You see on one side of you it looks like a suit built out of all sorts of mechanical pieces. Next to it seems to be some kind of sarcophagus. It looks like some kind of weird box with some hoses and stuff going up to the suit, one of which is clear and you can see a red liquid through the hose. Next to that is another one of these sarcophaguses. This one is open. There's all sorts of metal straps and all sorts of other metal silver shiny objects inside of this thing. Standing next to the open one is Cherry. The suit itself is large and constructed from all sorts of pieces of interesting technology that are all mismatched. This is all pieces of...
Do I see my missing toaster?
Oh yeah, you found your missing toaster. It's definitely on the center there with its two little slots facing towards you, and it's kind of like beating red. The glow from the elements are beating as it goes. Next to the sarcophagus, open still, is Sherry, and she's getting into it. She's holding her pad. She's like, "Look, I found, Daddy. I built it for you." She's getting into this, and I'm building a new toy, Daddy. Is this going to be fun to play with? And she's holding this pad, and it looks like it's remotely controlling stuff. Just then you hear a scream coming from the other sarcophagus. It's a woman's scream. And the clear front on this thing, you can definitely see a hand beating against the glass on it. The dark color of her skin and the blood splattering against the window, you can definitely tell. And you recognize the scream. Do you know who the scream is of? The dark hand?
Oh, no, man.
It's Morgana.
Dude, I thought she left.
She came back via the church to come get you.
Jerry, what the heck are you doing?
And Morgana's inside, and she's just being tortured by all the stuff inside the sarcophagus, which is draining the blood out of her. There's another incident that, for some reason, the blood of very spiritual people is being sought after for christening special weapons. Jerry happens to have a shield that's christened with some very special
Let it be known,
blood.
I did not do the healing. I did not do the killing on that one.
Yeah, but anyway, he has one. And Morgana now is being drained of all her blood, and it's being pumped into this robot suit statue that's standing there, and it's being christened, being its superpower as far as you could assume.
You love putting me in moral predicaments.
Sherry is about to close the door on her sarcophagus that she's getting into. See, Daddy, it says right here, I just pushed this button and closed the door.
What the hell are you building? I'll walk over there and stop the door from closing first.
Roll initiative.
Wait, do I really want to do that though?
Roll initiative.
I mean, Morgana saved my butt, but I kind of like living. But they could also screw me. Damn you and your moral predicaments! Half of me wants out, the other half's like, nah, just let this shit play down.
To clarify, one sarcophagus is on one side, one's on the other, and the suit is in the center.
Okay.
They're in almost like a triangle shape.
Shit, so I gotta choose, huh? Man, you love doing this to me, don't you? Alright. Fuck it, I'm gonna try and stop her from closing the lid.
Alright, roll initiative.
17. What do you got? I can't see.
Nat 20. As you start to walk towards the door, running to stop Cherry from shutting the door, you hear a growl as you pass by the corner. And this lion intersects you from getting into it as it barrels into you. It's gonna make a tackle restrain against you. I need to know what dice I'm rolling here. What are you fighting at, Jerry? Plus
7.
11?
Holy shit.
7 plus your weapon, the shield?
Yeah, so, well.
I'm rolling 66s.
Yeah.
I roll more dice because Jerry's stronger, but I'm less likely to kill him. 14, 16, 21 still hits you in the head. But yeah, this lion, it knocks you over, does 4 damage to the head. Cherry shuts the door. You see as she shuts the door, you hear the sarcophagus-looking chamber which she's in whirls to life. Little lights on it, all sorts of pieces of random toasters and televisions and all sorts of stuff are all begin burning. You hear this terrorizing scream coming from inside as she is just absolutely being torn into by this machine.
Oh, man.
And the line's chewing on them.
Pretty.
So wait, Morgana and Cherry are inside sarcophagus?
Yeah.
And the sarcophagus is hostile to both of them?
Yep.
Hey, hostile to Jerry too, huh?
Yep.
She didn't know that when she was getting in there? Or not?
Apparently that's not what the internet told her.
Alright, gnawing on my head. I presume it would still be possible to swing the arm up and bash it with the Spartan shield, eh?
Sure.
24. What's my shield now? 13 damage? 26 total?
To the head?
Yeah.
Oh, you bash this lion on the head. He goes flying against the cellar wall and falls, crumples in a heap on the ground. He's not getting up this turn, so we flash back to you guys. You stumble down into this chamber, walking along. To the left, you see a rather nice stairwell, which abruptly ends into the room that you're in. It's cobbled rocks together, some LED lighting. It's starting to flicker. The explosions you're hearing are causing some sand and dust to come from the roof above you as you hear some footsteps on the other side of the very nice door. On the other side of the room, there's a tunnel that continues down.
I would think. We just got into the safety of the underground spaces.
Yeah.
So I'll go back up. Does the staircase go up or down?
The staircase goes up, the nice one, and then the other one goes down.
And there's people, and we start to hear steps close to the staircase that goes up.
Yeah, there's a staircase that steps on the other side of the door.
Well, whoever it is, we don't want to see them.
No.
I mean, there's no
clearly
reason for
not.
us to go
No.
to the door. I say we continue going down.
Yeah, I agree.
So you guys tear down, you come to a room, see some bloody footprints, some hand smears on the wall. You hear some screams. You hear what sounds like the roar of a tiger or something gnawing on somebody's head. Go down into this room. Jerry, the lion lays crumpled at the wall. There's the 2 sarcophaguses. There's screams coming from both of them. There's blood now flowing through both hoses into this.
I'm still
this
going. I'm
battle
still going for her
suit.
box.
You gonna go for her box?
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it. I mean, I like Morgana and all, but kid.
All right, so run over. You run over to it.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, but looking at the box, is there any kind of lock I can see on the front of it? Anything like that?
Make a perception check.
26.
Yeah, you definitely see the latch mechanism on one side. Looks like it's got a bolt to it. It's got a couple wires that are in its hasty construction. It's not
Proceed to pass the piss out of it until it opens.
Okay.
I guess if we would consider that a headshot, that's 20 damage.
20. I'm going to see if you succeed. It's an inanimate object. You should be able to 10, 23. Oh, you haven't broke it open yet. You're beating on it. You're beating on it. You hear these little hands screaming as they're... And the voices are getting quieter. It's the beating on it's getting slower.
Can I bash on it again?
Go for it.
That should do it. 26.
That's 12, 17, 3. So yeah, you bash the lock, you open it up. Sherry isn't moving. She's looks partially deflated from what she normally looks like. Her face is a little bit more hollowed. Her limbs are almost reduced to just skin and bones. But from what you can tell, you do see a sign of life in her.
That check.
And you see that she's still contained by all the straps and all the stuff.
So she's
There's a tubes running into her, and there's a tube running to the suit that's
So
still
I want to
pumping
start
blood.
breaking all those loose.
Are you going to just tear them apart, or are you going to do a mechanics check on them?
Okay, let's just do it the way where she's less likely to die, so I guess that would be the smart removal.
Okay,
Not the
you can use your
grip.
medical check, or you can use your mechanics one, or you can actually roll a combined one. Let's do a combined.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both. And a combined check, he's going to add both skills to it.
So that team could be a 14, so that's 34.
Yeah, that's going to be good enough. You're able to pull it out. You rip all these needles and these little things out of her. There's like 4 different little spots that are all been restrained on her body, and then rip out the needles and they're all poking her into. And as you tear these things out, you do so, Kira, trying to put pressure on the spots where
They were.
you hear the suction of the... as it starts to suck air through the tubes, and the tube starts to pulsate with intermittent piles of air and blood leaving the sarcophagus going to the suit. You're able to pull up her nearly lifeless body out of the sarcophagus. She's unconscious at this point. Are you going to try to med check her? Or?
Yeah. Now go try and break the other side. Wait, is there any noise coming from the other one still? Complete silence.
Complete silence.
Yep.
Make a perception check.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll give you...
Yeah, 10.
You don't hear anything.
Okay, so med check then.
Hey, that's it for episode 3. Hey, I want to say a special thank you to Sean Shellnut for custom recording all that music for us. That was awesome. Check out Sean's stuff on his page. It's SeanShellnut.com. Sean will be featured in our next episode, which is episode number 3.5. It's a talking about the winds episode. It's not a gameplay episode. All we're going to do is just going to be talking with Sean and listening to him make us some music. And if you want to skip the next episode, you can. It's if you just want to get back to the gameplay. Classical elevator music is not everybody's thing, so you might just skip it. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That really makes a difference in the algorithm of how many people YouTube will show to it. And share it on your Facebook page. Send it to a friend you play a game with. That's the biggest thing you can do to help. It's more important than money. But you can also check out our website or Patreon or send us some fan mail. That'd be cool too. Thanks.